You're watching Monty TV. I'm Jackie Karsh. Sitting down now with Andrew Powell. He's the founder and CEO of rapid learning platform Learn to Win. Andrew, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Great to be here.
How is AI changing the way people learn?
Well, it's changing it in two pretty profound ways. I think it's enabling us to train people much more quickly and effectively than we've ever done before. Imagine the world's best tutor sitting in your pocket. That creates tremendous opportunity. But it also creates a lot of challenges. The world around people are changing faster than people typically learn and adapt. And so we see a big, really widening gap between what people are expected to do on the job and what they've traditionally been trained to do. And so we think it's really important to harness the power of AI to enable people to basically keep pace with the underlying technology that they're expected to use on a daily basis.
And your company isn't limited to like your, what you would think for traditional learning, right? Tell me a little bit about some of the companies that are adopting your technology.
Yeah, so we got our start actually working with pro football teams. I was very interested in the challenge of learning and thought that a professional football team like the LA Rams training for the Super Bowl was perhaps the most intense setting of people trying to optimize their performance outcomes. And so we built a platform that would enable the team to train their players on playbooks, game plans, scouting reports, everything that a player needs to know to perform well on Sunday. It was really successful. They ended up winning the Super Bowl, which we're here in LA. I know everybody's excited about that a few years back. But we realized that that same problem exists in a lot of settings. If it's a sales team trying to win a deal, if it's a military unit preparing for a mission, you want to have the most effective way to learn, and you want to be able to adapt as the world around you changes. And so we took what we had done with pro sports teams, applied it to a bunch of different organizations that may not be playing in front of millions of people on TV, but still want to perform the very best that they can.
Which sector do you think is most ripe for this type of disruption?
Well, I really see a ton of opportunity in the public sector. So with defense, with the three-letter agencies, that's actually the majority of our revenue now. And we think that the stakes are extremely high. If you think about securing our future and preparing the next generation of warfighters to do their tasks, we can't really think of a more important mission than that. And the nature of war itself is changing very dramatically. We're hearing about that a lot at this summit of what's the next generation of autonomous weapons. Well, the question we ask is, what's the role of humans in all of that? And how do we know that they're going to be prepared for what the future fight brings? And we're proud to be the platform that powers that.
And this is not about traditional learning, actually. It's about something called micro-learning. What is that?
So it's one of those ways to really break down what a person needs to know into the individual components and make sure that they are proficient in every single little detail. And so instead of just sending somebody to college and they get a degree and we say, all right, you're now certified, we want to break down the individual knowledge, skills, and abilities that are necessary for a person to perform on the job. So if you think about a pilot, there's so many things that a pilot needs to know to be able to do their job. And even if they sat through a year-long training course, if they don't have every single detail mastered, then that could be a security risk. And so as a result, we really shift up the whole approach away from this one-size-fits-all to a very personalized and adaptive approach.
How do you know that rapid learning works?
We've seen tremendous results with our customers. In one example, the Air Force on a $200K contract with us was able to save $2.7 million compared to their traditional methods of teaching. And so that was really driven by two things. I think faster throughput, so people were trained much more quickly, which saves money, and then a major reduction in failure rate in that course. So we were able to cut their failure rate in half, which means that instead of wasting all this money training people that weren't going to be qualified to do the job, they were able to get a whole bunch more people through the training pipeline faster, which all in all led to millions of dollars in savings for just one schoolhouse. And we think that that has tremendous scalability across the public sector.
What would you say you're most excited about over the next, couple of years of what we'll see in this space?
Well, I think we have seen an opportunity to almost make science fiction come real. I don't know if you've seen The Matrix, but that scene where Neo gets plugged into a computer and he kind of learns all of Kung Fu in a second. We think that we're getting closer to a reality where if somebody wants to learn anything, they can very quickly tap into the world's best expertise and learn and master it very quickly. Maybe eventually there will be that kind of human-machine interface that enables us to just download it to our brain. But we think that Learn to Win is kind of the best thing short of that until, I don't know, maybe Elon with Neuralink will figure out a way to just completely download all the expertise into our our neurons. But for now, Learn to Win is kind of the next best thing, and we feel like we're kind of making science fiction come real.
All right, I like being on the cusp of matrix level learning. Well, Andrew, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
My pleasure.